Buy an Intel NUC Barebones PC and get a limited edition t-shirt and in-game items for PlanetSide 2. Click now to learn more. So I knew Gigabyte made laptops, but we'd never really encountered one that I looked at and I went, holy crap, we have to unbox that. We have to show that to everyone. This all changes with the P34G. This is the first thing I've seen that I would consider to be a genuine competitor to the Razer Blade 14. Now the Razer Blade 14 has a beautiful industrial design, smoking hardware, that is to say it runs a little on the hot side, and it's amazingly fast, and one of the worst LCDs that I have seen on a laptop in the last 10 years. The P34G takes that 1600 by 900 horrible TN panel LCD that's on the Blade 14 and upgrades it to a 1920 by 1080 VA panel, all right? So instead of TN, we're looking at an AHVA panel, which is going to mean better color reproduction and compromising perhaps a little bit on the response time from a gaming perspective. Now you might say, well, Linus, I'm never willing to compromise on response time, to which I would reply, oh, come on. Response time's important, but when we're talking, a panel that has color shift when you move sort of 3 inches to the right or the left, that's not something that I'd consider to be acceptable. So where do we compromise on this one? Well, number one is build quality, okay? So the bottom of the unit is plastic. What's good about it is we do have access to upgrade the components, so it comes with a single 8 gig module of memory in this particular configuration, but it can be upgraded to up to 16 gigs. It comes with, get this guys, and this is another advantage over the Blade 14, it comes with an M-SATA slot for an SSD and a 2.5-inch mounting point for a hard drive, up to 1 terabyte. So you can have up to 256 gigs of SSD goodness and 1 terabyte of storage for your OS and then all of your games and music and movies and all that good stuff. Super cool. So there's 2 heat pipes going to each the CPU and the GPU. You can actually kind of see them through that vent right there. And they each exhaust separately from the back of the system. And other than that, there's not much of note on the bottom. We got some little rubber feet and stuff like that. Okay. All right. Another advantage against the Blade 14. So Kensington Law, boom! Gigabit Ethernet port. Why is there a VGA port on this laptop? Well, in much the same way that the Blade 14 is targeted to the traveling gamer, the businessman who likes to kick back and play some games in the hotel room at the end of the day, VGA is necessary. It's necessary for business meetings because all them projectors and all them boardrooms support VGA only. USB 3 ports, including apparently one boosted one for faster charging, a headphone microphone combo jack, and then moving around to the other side, we've got USB 2, then we've got another USB 2, a card reader, HDMI out, and wouldn't have minded seeing DisplayPort there, and power in. All right, so disadvantage against the Blade 14. This is quite a large power brick. This isn't really something that I'd consider to be too awesome. This is 6.15 amps, 19.5 volts. Razer really did a great job on their power brick, making it truly as portable as the laptop, so you got to factor that into the size, although the size is very similar to the Blade. The top of the unit, metal finish, so that is not like the underside that's made of plastic. And then moving into the inside here, yes, okay, so we've got, I can't quite tell, but yeah, that looks like more plastic, and then a metal finish on the inside. So all the parts that you're actually going to touch are made of metal. Now, you know what, I haven't even talked about specs at all yet, and that's because there's not really much to say. It's about what you'd expect out of a modern laptop that, runs modern hardware. So it's got a Core i7-4700, that's a quad-core processor, so that runs from 2.4 gigahertz up to 3.4 gigahertz turbo. It has a GTX 760M with 2 gigs of GDDR5 memory. That makes it a very respectable performer when it comes to gaming, especially compared to other laptops that are this thin. So just like the Blade 14, this is truly a portable gaming box. It has a 14-inch AHVA 1920 by 1080 panel, so it's full HD, all that good stuff. It uses a matte screen rather than a glossy screen, so they're not faking things when it comes to the vibrant color and the sharpness of the image by putting a glossy screen in front of it. It has a 47.7 watt 6-cell battery. It is 21 millimeters thick, 1.67 kilograms, and I'm just trying to see if there's anything else I've forgotten. Ah, yes, the EL backlighting on the keyboard. So it has an auto-sensing keyboard, so we're gonna go ahead and cover what is presumably the light sensor here and see if we can get that to kick in. The last notebook that I checked out that had an EL backlight was actually the Acer Aspire S7. Quite liked the implementation there. I guess we'll have to do B-roll to show this off. But the overall keyboard layout is what I'd consider to be pretty good. Full-size shift keys, enter keys, and backspace, so no cardinal sins committed, although these are a shame. These arrow keys really are a shame, because if you were going to use it as a gaming laptop and you were going to game using the arrow keys, that would be a bit of an issue for you, although I suspect most people won't be doing that. It also doesn't have a click pad, so it has a dedicated touchpad with dedicated buttons below it. I personally prefer this implementation, but I've seen other reviewers complain about it, so I figured it's something that's probably worth mentioning. It comes with Windows 8, no touchscreen though, so if you do want touchscreen, then I guess you'll probably just have to go buy something with a touchscreen, because neither this nor the Blade, which are the only two super portable gaming notebooks I'm aware of, come with a touchscreen. So basically, guys, the age-old can it run crisis, the answer is yes. We've spent a little bit more time with the LCD, and while it's not perfect, it's not as good as you'd expect from, you know, a really nice IPS or VA desktop display, it is so much better than what we've seen on other laptops over the past several years, and a lot better than what's on the Blade, that I give it a pass. It is just quite nice. Now, this is something that's actually probably the most impressive thing to me about this laptop so far. The keyboard is, by the way, what I would classify as not just good, but excellent. There's a little bit of flex to it, but I hope you guys can hear the sound. The keys have quite a nice tactile response, even when you're typing. The onboard sound is nothing special, but you'll probably want to use headphones on a laptop most of the time. But this is where things get really, really impressive, even compared to the Blade, which was already an engineering marvel. We have put a thermal probe right here on the wrist rest. This is an important spot for us, because this is where your hand's going to rest when you're on WASD. It is running at under 26 degrees on the palm rest. That is outstanding. What that means is your hand is not going to sweat or get unnecessarily hot when you're using this laptop like it did with the aluminum shelled Razer Blade. Now, if we take this and we put it somewhere like on the exhaust at the back, I think we're going to see a bit of a different story. Now, the exhaust is angled down in kind of a clever way, but let's go ahead and take a spot where it might rest on your lap and look at what kind of temperatures we're going to get there. We're just going to paste that down. So I'm going to go ahead and reject that call. Gotta love my Pebble. So that's going to be running at, you know, into the 30s. So there we go. Now that we've put that down, we've got it running, you know, anywhere between about 38, 40 degrees. So much like the Blade, it's not something that I would consider to be a laptop in the same way that I wouldn't consider a Fire to be suitable for putting on your lap. But for the traveling business person who just wants something that they can game with on the go, this looks like an absolutely outstanding choice. So I think that concludes my video on the P34G from Gigabyte, a most excellent portable gaming laptop. Don't forget to subscribe to Linus Tech Tips for more unboxings, reviews, and other computer videos. Like the video if you liked it, dislike it if you disliked it, and let us know what you thought about it in the comments, or what you think about this product. I mean, is this the perfect portable gaming notebook?